Spidops going, if this is the route that they're going. Okay. So we do have both of our Spidops. We know that this thing more than likely is not dying next turn. So let's get both of these onto the bench here. Pretty simple game plan as it is.
No,
We'll
don't do it!
Salvatore. So what, we prize 2 of them? Fine, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Mine. It's my fault for not checking prizing well enough. What am I doing? Oh my god. We're putting a misplay counter here. We're putting a misplay counter here at this video. I don't know what I'm doing. Hey everybody, welcome back to another PTCGL deck video on the Lotad Lounge. Today we're going to be taking a look at post-rotation, post-Temporal Forces Banette EX with a couple of other friends. I am super excited to be playing this deck. Banette is a favorite Pokemon of mine, and I've been trying to make this card work ever since its release back in Scarvi base. I think item locking is just a very fun way for me to play the game. I know that my opponents may not have the same reaction to Everlasting Darkness as I do, but I think it's a blast. It's got quite a few good cards that have come out in Temporal Forces that have made it significantly better, so let's get right into it. First, we have the star of the show, Banette EX. In case you don't know what it does, Everlasting Darkness for 1 psychic energy does 30 damage, and during our opponent's next turn, they cannot play any item cards from their hand. It's a really good way to slow down the game to your own pace and find ways to disrupt your opponent and get your attackers powered up so you can start taking big KOs later in the game after you've already got them so far behind and taken a few prizes. The issue with this attack is that it only does 30 damage, especially whenever you're playing in person or in locals. It's a really good way for your opponent to slow play you and just go to draws as opposed to allowing either person to win. So we have a few ways to mitigate that. First partner in crime is Brute Bonnet. With Toxic Powder, we're going to put an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule on it to help us fix some math. Poisoning is going to give it a couple of extra damage counters at the end of our turn, at the end of our opponent's turn. And with Hisuian Sneasler, it's going to increase that damage. And we're going to increase the damage with a new card out of Temporal Forces, Perilous Jungle. We're going to put 2 more damage counters in addition to the ones that we're already putting on there. It's going to actually allow us to take some early KOs on some smaller basic Pokemon in evolution decks, and even in larger Vs and basic EXs. If we get something that is not able to attack locked into the active, we're going to be able to keep it there and allow it to be knocked out by the poison. We're also playing Lost Origin Banette. This is a VS Seeker on a Pokemon. Once during a turn, we can put a supporter card from our discard pile into our hand and put Banette and Shuppet into the Lost Zone. This card is great for consistency. If we find an Ultra Ball with a Shuppet on the bench, we can pick up any trainer, a Boss's Orders, an Arven, an Iono, a Professor's Research. It allows us to get into a lot of our powerful cards later in the game after we've already burned up a lot of our supporters. And an underrated partner in support, and we are actually planning on attacking with this thing more often than not by the end of the game, is Spidops EX. Has the Trap Territory ability. Your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 colorless more, and with Wire Hang, it's going to be doing 30 more damage for each colorless in our opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. So, in addition to the Spidops and Calamitous Wasteland, this is going to be our way of wrapping up games after we've gotten to late game, after we've kept them from playing items for long enough to where it's not going to matter. We're already a couple, either 2 or 4 prizes ahead, and we're going to start closing out games with Spidops EX, and that's going to be our way to prevent from going to time and losing out on prizes in person. And online, where time doesn't matter as much, it's going to be our way to knock out bigger Pokemon that would take too long to get whittled down with Banette. I've mentioned that there's some good cards out of Temporal Forces that have made this deck a lot better, and the number 1 case for playing this deck right now is Salvatore. We search our deck for a Banette if we're going second, we do it on our first turn. We evolve into Banette, we attach 1 energy, and then we item lock our opponent on our first turn. Our opponent gets 1 turn to play item cards, and then we lock them out. Hopefully for the rest of the game, at least until it's relevant to where we can start taking knockouts with our support Pokemon. Mentioned Perilous Jungle. This card has helped to speed up the game on my end. I love Banette, but has always had issues taking prizes. Now we can start taking prizes faster and faster with our poison package in the deck, and this just helps to do that. I'm going to say it now, Prime Catcher is the best ace spec, hands down without a doubt. It's Escape Rope, it's Guzma, it's printed HUD and item card, it's searchable with Arven. We get to drop boss's orders from 3 to 2. We get to take down our switch cards by 1. Prime Catcher is going to be the best. Mark my words, we'll see how it turns out in about a year. We have a Force Seal Stone. This is for our Lumineon. Lumineon, we're playing it obviously to try and search out Salvatore. It's a very necessary card. I won't be playing this deck without Lumineon. And having the ability to Force Seal Stone and search out another card at a later time is invaluable. Buddy Poffin, of course, is going to be played here. I think any deck with Pokemon under 70 are going to be benefiting from it. I don't see a lot of evolution decks not playing this card. We play it at 4. It's absolutely necessary. It's better than Battle VIP. We're really happy to have it. For the energy count, we are going to be playing 4 Luminous Energy and 5 Psychic. We don't need that many energy, especially to get our game plan started. However, we have to run the Luminous Energy so we can attack with Spidops. If you guys have any suggestions regarding what we could do better with this deck, let us know down in the comments, and we'll see about maybe doing another deck video on Banette. It's my favorite Pokemon, and right now I think this is the best way to play it. A few things that I noticed I would like to change about the deck, but I'm not sure where to cut just yet, is I would like to find room for a Manaphy, and I would also like to find room for a Super Rod, but I'm not exactly sure where to cut just yet. I do have 3 Nest Ball in here, but as of right now I really like the consistency with 3 Nest Ball, and I'm not ready to cut that out just yet. Let's get right into the games. Let's see what we can get into here. Not a bad start at all. We can definitely go ahead and get the lock off here. Some follow-up is going to be difficult. Doduo, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe we're looking at Hisuian Zoroark. I don't know if they've got anything new from the newest set or not. We will go ahead and wait. We'll go ahead and see. It's looking like it to me. On the bright side, we're not going to be putting anything down. I guess it's more for them. Not a very hot start. And we already have our lock off, for sure. Okay. And we get to lock them into place. We will keep going through here. Okay. And we do have plenty of Ultra Balls. So we should be able to find some follow-up, hopefully. Relatively easy. The Nest Ball. I'm okay with going ahead and grabbing a Brute Bonnet. We'll do this. We'll Salvatore. And now we have them locked up. They have to play the game at our pace now. So we don't really play any draw Pokemon here, or in this deck at all. It's not a huge issue for us because we are not really planning on them playing too fast either. So us going into top deck mode isn't awful. Would have liked to have got that Spidops down, but that's okay. I'd much rather have 6 fresh cards. That research there, we're definitely going to go ahead and use that. Okay, I was right. So it has a decent amount of retreat, it looks like. I'm not sure what the Vstar has, but we are probably going to be able to get some damage off. Okay, good deal. We can go ahead and take a knockout this turn. Put this here. And we'll get some fresh cards. Okay, access to a... Access for a Lumineon next turn to draw some more cards. We're going to go ahead and put this here to get the Spidops set up to take out that Zoroark. I really don't want them gape jawing anymore. Yeah, so we will take a knockout this turn. And there's nothing really I'm interested in Buddy Poffying back up. So let's go ahead and give everything's in poison here. And take our first prize. Really, if they promote the Zoroark here and we find our way into Calamitous Wasteland or something, we may just be able to go ahead and take a knockout on it. I do wish there was a way after these games to look at the opponent's hand. I'm interested as to what exactly we're locking up there. You can see that, they're just not able to play. So we'll go ahead and put this here. Set up pretty well. I don't see us needing Buddy Poffin anymore. I do want to find the Spidops and some more cards, so let's go ahead and grab an Iono. Another option is I could have, and this is probably the correct option, I could have grabbed a... Hey, there we are. And the 4 Sealstone, that is so good for us. Go ahead and make sure that we poison these both up here. Next turn, I can grab a switch. I could grab the Banette to dig out our professors again and get some more cards going. So here we go. Go ahead and take a knockout here as well. We've now got them down to 2. We've now got them down to where we need to knock this out and hopefully another 2-prizer. Unfortunate that we didn't save room for the Sneasler. That's honestly a misplay. What are they stacking up there? If I had to guess, they're probably going to do Hisuian Zoroark. How much damage does this thing take? So it'll be at 3. Oh, that's not bad at all. 3, 6, 9, 12. Honestly, a little too lazy to do the math here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to boss this up. I'm going to go ahead and get it poisoned here. I will put this here, this here. Use the 4 Sealstone to dig out a switch. Oops, that was almost really bad. I'll pull out this switch here. Bring the Spidops up. So 180. I think we just have it there. 180 plus 20 is 2. Yes, we do take a knockout here. So we do break the item lock. They're going to be able to play, but they are far enough behind now to where it's not really going to hurt us. And another boss. It is our last boss. We do have Prime Catcher in the deck, I believe. So it honestly may be worth... I think it'd be okay to use this to grab a Professor's Research as opposed to... We definitely don't want to grab Iono now. I wonder what they're going to promote, if anything. They may just be conceding the long way. Any second. I think they may be a tad salted about the Spidops. Once again, Spidops is our way to actually be able to fight as opposed to just locking them down. Don't get me wrong, we do decent enough damage with the Banette, but the Spidops being set up on the bench, just like you saw there, is a way to come up and actually do pretty good damage to some 2 prizers and get ourselves way out in front. Like I said, I do believe that they are conceding just by going inactive. I think they may be unhappy. If I had to guess, they probably stacked a Zoroark V and maybe a DTE on top there.
Eventually.
There we are. Okay, that's something that you're going to garner with this deck, is you're going to find that you do provoke a certain reaction from plenty of players, but that isn't personally something that bothers me. So let's get into the next game, see what we get up to. All right, so we're going to start with any basic would have been so good there. Honestly, did not pay good attention to the coin flip. I don't know who's going first. This is a very, very bad open. Hopefully we're not going first. If we're going first, we're in big trouble. Okay. So we're not getting Cramorant first turn. If we draw a switch card, then we can lock them down. That's really all we need. No, we would need a Buddy Poffin. Something along those lines. Okay. Well, let's play it slow then. We'll go Arven. Grab a Forest Seal. And a Buddy Poffin. Go ahead and throw down one of each. We prized both of our Spidops this game. That is really unfortunate, so it's going to be a minute before we take a prize and get one. Okay. Now for next turn, we're going to need a Salvatore. We'll see. I honestly think that I'm not sure what we're gonna do, really. They're coming along just fine with what they're doing, though. Between a Colress, between this Colress and the Comfey, looks like they're getting into everything they need to. Now just a grass energy and they're fine. Really sucks having prized both of our Spidops. Like I said, we'll see if we can't get too far. I don't think we're going to be able to. We really needed to lock down items that turn. I say that, but it's not like they played well. Spoke too soon. So they're going to get 110 down here. see what we draw into. And the Tarountula that we don't need. Okay. In my opinion, we take a research here. Do this. Sealstone. Energy here. I don't know when we're going to get into a... Okay. This is an idea. We still haven't cracked the Sealstone. I can't imagine needing Salvatore. Okay. We'll crack. That's a misplay on my part. I most definitely should have poisoned before. Go ahead and add another to the misplay counter. Go ahead and block them out of items. And if this thing stays inactive, I strongly doubt it will. All I need to do is find one energy. Okay. So they're going to lock themselves out of moving this turn then. So we're going to take a prize card. Goodness gracious. It's the second turn in a row? Yeah. Sure is. Still no Giratina Vstar. It makes me curious as to what they're going to promote the following turn. Or this turn, really. There's a decent chance that we can knock this out with Poltergeist if they end up promoting it. I doubt they do, but that would be really good. Just looking for a way to get this. An Ultra Ball, find this boss, depending on what they promote, would be so good. Alright, no Tarountula. I'm sorry, no Spidops. Not just yet. Okay, give me an Ultra Ball. Not quite. I don't want to Iona this big hand away. Especially with them being locked into so many items. For now we can soak a hit. They will be able to attach and retreat this if they feel like it. We're really missing our Spidops right now. Very badly. They do have enough to be Mirage Gating, but another Colorless Experiment. My goodness. Surely they have found a Giratina Vstar by now. So we've already used one boss and a prawn catcher. We really, really need to find... well, mercy. Finding everything. 3 Colorless Experiments for 3 turns in a row is... That's what it's like to play against Lost Box. I wonder what they grabbed. They attached an energy, so they're not going to be able to get it out this turn. I do think they are playing for that. I think they're playing to... Okay. Thing is, they grabbed a card. We're going to try and bank on finding our way into it. It's Iono. And put that card that they just grabbed on the bottom of their deck. Okay. Now we are in a bad place as far as next turn goes. We don't have a whole lot of follow-up. Well, we found our follow-up. Here's to hoping we put them on an absolute brick, though. So they do take a knockout here. No problem. If they find their way into a Giratina Vstar, they can take 2 knockouts in a row. Just about seal up the game. I don't know who we grab. So this thing can only soak 1 hit before we end up having to Poltergeist and just take the knockout. Like I said, we are really counting on this thing putting in work for us. We have to find... I see. We'll grab this and put it down. Maybe we'll find our way into Lost Origin Banette. For now, let's lock them up here. I don't imagine... Surely they don't find another Colress, and hopefully they had forced Sealstone for a Giratina. If they evolve, we just lose the game. Right now, it's looking like we knock this out, and they could have an Ultra Ball in hand. So we have to knock this out. We have no choice. We have to take the knockout here, and we have to find our way into Tarountula and hope that they are bricked enough to not win the game. Is there anything in here? Yes. We need to possibly get this back in. I think that's all I'm... the Shuppet. No, we have one on bench. Put one here. And like I said, we are totally banking on finding our Spidops. Mirage Gate. So far, no way into Giratina. Vstar. Come on, Spidops. We need you. We need you so bad. Please don't let me down.
Hello there.
Yes. Okay. All right. We have a win condition. They knock this out. We promote the Spidops. I don't know if it's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it will be. We have to count on them not getting into Giratina Vstar. Okay. Oh, mercy, this is a nail biter. Nest Ball's fine. Unless they retreat. If they retreat, we're gonna... Okay. Please don't retreat. If they retreat, we just lock them out of items. Interesting. Yeah, they're most definitely going to retreat into Mimikyu. If we find an Ultra Ball, there's a really good chance we can win the game. Ah, God. We have to find an Ultra Ball or a boss's orders. I didn't check prizing well enough to know if I have another boss in deck or not. I don't think I want to Iona them. I don't want them to see any more cards. Okay. So, no, we can't damage this thing. We can poison it. And then next turn, we keep them locked out of items. That's okay. So he'll take 60 whenever the turn passes back. We need to find an Ultra Ball. I'm hoping that they're just still bricked. I don't want them to see any more cards. Oh boy, this is getting so tight. No Comfey. This thing is stuck in the active for now. Oh boy. They still don't have access to Giratina Vstar. I think what we do is, because whatever, I don't know what they promote next. We have to keep them locked out of items. We have to keep this inactive. We can just hang on to this energy. We'll keep them locked out of item cards. Wait a minute. Oh, I used Poltergeist. That's correct. I used Poltergeist. That's how they used the switch card. Okay. This is what it comes down to. Please do not find Giratina Vstar. Do not find it. Do not find it. Yes. Okay, we have it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. I really can't. That is... Oh man, that was such a close game. Oh my god. That was insane. I can't believe it. So we'll go ahead and poison just to make sure that we do indeed bring it home. 210 plus 30 will most definitely do it. Oh my gosh. We were missing this goofy little spider for most of the game, and here is the last one. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Banette, for slowing down the game to a crawl. Alright, so we get to choose, and we are not going to go first. We are going to go second. Hope to get that lock off with Salvatore. Close. Man, one basic Pokemon. I don't want to say that. Could have been Brute Bonnet, but... definitely could have done better there. And okay, this is really interesting, getting to see the new Incineroar. I do wonder if they're playing it with the Relicanth. Hey, and we're going to get to draw some more cards. That's what we like to see. We're going to get to draw all kinds of new cards. Playing it with Bibarel. I need to keep that Lost Vacuum in mind. Maybe. Hopefully I'm getting to lock him out of using it anyway. So let's see. 3 brand new cards. Cool beans. We don't have to waste Lumineon. So with a hand like this, if we hadn't had to draw all those extra cards, we actually do have the lock here as well. Without drawing those extra cards, we could have just Nest Balled into Force Seal Stone, grab Salvatore. Sure, you don't get to use the Lumineon, but it does the same thing, essentially. Their hand doesn't look very good, and that doesn't spell good news for them. So just hope that we didn't prize. All right, so we do have the Banette there. We have both of our Spidops, so we're gonna go ahead and get another Spidops set up. Do need to keep in mind that we will be putting Lumineon on the bench. So let's get this other Spidops down. We will Nest Ball out a Brute Bonnet. Go ahead and attach this. We want to save the Iono for next turn for follow-up. Or we can just Force Seal Stone. Yeah, let's just do this here. I think this is safer. We know that we have extras. Okay, we'll be just fine. So let's grab this Lumineon. And we will dig out a Salvatore, so long as we haven't prized all of them. Good. Grab Salvatore, attach here, go ahead and place this Force Seal Stone down. And go ahead and grab Banette. That's a slight misplay on my part. I should have poisoned everybody first. That's okay. And we will go ahead and Everlasting Darkness. So, really cool. Safe part about not using the Force Seal Stone, in spite of knowing that they have Lost Vacuums, is that it's not like they're going to play them. A Perilous Jungle would have made this a one-turn knockout if they did not get to put an energy down, which would have been a lot nicer, but that's okay. Spibarel is begging to be stranded as well. So they do get to bring a tool. What tool are they playing with this? I haven't really looked at Incineroar. I'm not sure what it would benefit from as far as tools go. Maybe some TM evolutions or something like that. It does have a really cool combo with Relicanth and the basic evolution where it does 2 damage for each damage counter. Let's see. Fair enough. Fair enough. They're not going to get to play the game. From where I'm at, I don't see them really getting off to a good start there. I honestly didn't pay good enough attention. I don't know if we're going first or second here. We are getting a look at our opponent's deck. That doesn't tell me much. Okay. Tulip, Psychic Energy. I have a feeling that we might be playing into a Gardevoir variant or something. With 2 Tulips, though? It's not something I've seen. If we draw an energy, and we didn't prize Lumineon, then we have our lock. I'm so sick of seeing this deck. I really am. I've had enough of it. Okay. Let's make sure we didn't prize our Spidops. Nope. And we will go ahead and clear the deck out of our Shuppets. I don't think these things... No, they don't put damage counters on. I know that for a fact. I think waiting here might just be the right move. We can grab Spidops, we can grab a Shuppet or a Banette as well, and draw cards next turn. I really am sick of playing against Lunatone. It seems like every time I go to record one of these videos, I end up having to play against this deck. I know it's, and you see low elo, You see that it's someone low on the ladder, and you know that you're going to have to play against it almost every time. Or was I incorrect? Yes, I was incorrect. I'm not going to be able to search out 2 Pokemon. So let's do this here. I think stopping items is going to be a big one. Much rather just slow them to a crawl first. And putting the EXP share on the active Pokemon, a telltale sign that you're playing against a newer player. That is okay though. Put this here. Go ahead and grab. We have Beatrice 1. And we will go ahead and slow the game down for them. If we get the Sneasler down, in addition to this Brute Bonnet here, we're going to be doing a decent chunk of damage to all their 1-prizers. Okay. Off to a hot start. We're cycle drawing, baby. Okay. Oh my goodness. An Iono of their own. Fair enough. And not a bad hand for us at all. 3 isn't really a relevant number for them. They can attack if they have 3 energy on them anyway. We'll grab... We're done with our buddies for this game, it seems. We'll do this, grab our Sneasler. Arven for a... Don't need that. Arven for this, and... an Ultra Ball, I suppose? Sure. Put this here. Put this here. Go ahead and get them poisoned. Does this? No, it does take a knockout this turn, but it definitely does more damage. It'll take a knockout if they keep it inactive. Oh no, it will take a knockout this turn. That's right. Okay. Not bad at all. And there's our other Tarountula coming out of prize. I think it might be just a tad late for them. If we can find a way to grab an energy here, then they will probably get knocked out. One Psychic Energy. With our current hand. 1 Psychic Energy gets us to Prime Catcher, this into active, and then boss up the Mewtwo. Stop putting that on active Pokemon, friend. You can do this. Okay. So we would not be so lucky. We will just keep pinging them down. And on return, they'll have 90 on it. Not terrible damage by the time it gets back to my turn. I bet these guys are really wishing that they were 70 HP for the Buddy Puff, and it would make this deck... I don't think it'd make it viable, but it would definitely make it better. Ooh, boy, we're taking some big damage. Well, to be fair, so it's not like we're dealing it out either. Matter of fact, we're on even playing field right now. Okay, we will. I'm fine with the current board state. If we have to, we can always search out our little Banette and Iono, or we can throw the Lumineon down after knockout too and grab a supporter for some more cards. For now, let's just keep locking them up. So it passes back to me, they'll be 180. Yeah, we will be able to knock this thing out next turn. Hopefully they do not find, because they'll be able to knock this out if they end up finding, oh, well, okay. That's okay though. Doesn't exactly put us in a bad position. We have to find an energy, but we have ways to draw into it. Okay. So they get 2 big prize cards here, and we should be able to return KO and keep our item lock on.
Why would anyone do drugs when they could just mow a lawn?
All right. Put this down. Discard both of these. Wait a minute. Oh, God. What am I doing?
Why would anyone do drugs when they could just mow a lawn?
All right. So we, it wouldn't be me if I didn't misplay. That's okay. This thing has 180 damage. What's the worst that can happen? It's not going to knock me out. So we'll just hang out here. We'll just hang out here. That is entirely my fault. We didn't item lock them now either. Now they get, oh man, what was I literally said throw this down, find my professors, or even an Iono. I guess man, and in my haste, misplayed again. I could have just Puppet Offering, grabbed the Iono out, playing absolutely horribly. Yeah, play him now if you got him. I mean, play him now if you got him. This deck lost some stuff, I believe. Didn't this deck lose... I don't know if it lost Rescue Carrier or not. That means that this person is actively building this deck, I believe. Like, we're actually trying to build this deck. Okay, well that's... What are we bossing up? My Sneasler? Fair enough. It'll still end up getting knocked out anyway, but that's okay. I evened up the prizes, though. What is this thing? Week 2 grass. I made this game a lot harder than it needed to be, for no good reason. And we're lucky that math worked out, really. Okay. We'll do better this time. We will do better. I think we've used all of our Ultra Balls. 1, 2, 3. I feel like one was in prize. Could be incorrect, but I feel like one was in prize. We did get an energy though for our Banette. I'm somewhat comfortable sitting on this though, to be honest. They have been rather unlucky, not able to get any of their Lunatones down. So we'll put this here. We can Puppet Offering to Arvin. grab our Super Rod. And a Forest Seal Stone. We will go ahead and Super Rod the line back in along with our Sneasler. Do this. We'll search out. It's really not even why we're playing this, but we'll search out another. We'll search out Professors in case we find ourselves with a very dead hand for one reason or another. We'll Force Seal and bring back our Sneasler. Good deal. Get some damage back up on the board here and do our darndest not to keep misplaying. Alright, so they are able to retreat this back into this and slow the game down. Really, aside from, I mean, of course it slows them down, but they don't, if they got a board established originally, they would have been able to really just play their game. They had more Zoroarks and Lunatones down. A boss, okay. So just a single retreat on that. I would have liked to have put that on the Spidops here, but that's perfectly fine. We'll just retreat it. Had access to Prime Catcher too. It is funny, you will find that. Okay, well, I was gonna say you'll find that it makes people play a different way, which is what I enjoy so much about these kinds of decks, is that it makes people play different than they typically would. You'll find that their turns start getting longer. In person, it's something you have to watch out for whenever you're worried about a clock and worried about taking 2 out of 3 games or something like that. And that's going to do it for the games, guys. I have had a bunch of fun playing this deck. I feel like I have to think super hard to get any wins with this deck, and that's not a bad thing. It's decently consistent. I've found that the Salvatore turn 1 lock going second is something that I pull off more often than not, and slowing the game down to a pace that I like to play, which is very slow. I just like to spend more time with my opponents, just like I like to spend time with you guys. I find it very enjoyable. The Spidops has been absolutely invaluable, locking our opponents' Pokemon into the active spot, almost like a block lax, and not letting them play item cards. It is a very, very good strategy to set up our own board and take those prizes as we see fit and a pace that we see fit. If you guys have any suggestions for the deck, please let us know. If you guys would like to see any other new decks post Temporal Forces, I do have some ideas regarding Noivern coming up, as well as Gengar EX. I have ideas for Incineroar. I have all kinds of new deck ideas that I will be bringing out over the following weeks to you guys. But if there's anything that you'd like to see first, let us know down in the comments below. If you liked what you saw here, please give us a like. It helps out the channel and lets us know that you're enjoying the content, and encourages me to keep giving you guys new content. Be sure to check out the other content on our channel. We have all kinds of sealed content. We just did some value battles earlier last week during release week, and those were a lot of fun. It's the first opening I've been involved in, and I had a blast doing it. I really appreciate you guys coming to spend time with me. If you've made it to the end of the video, I would just like to thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Jeremiah for the Low Tide Lounge. Y'all have a good night.